Welcome to the Milk and Cookies podcast. This is the podcast that has absolutely everything to do with American football and absolutely nothing to do with milk and cookies. My name is Alex, as always. Of course, I'm always joined with my dear friends Leon and Anthony. This is our first episode as our draft series. That's right, the 2021 draft is about, a month and a half away, I believe. It's coming around the corner. I think it's 45 days away from right now. We are ready to go. We're rolling. This is going to be our first episode. We're going to go a lot of things to talk about today, so let's just go right into it. This draft is probably going to be one of the most loaded draft talents other than the 2020 draft. I still think the 2020 draft was significantly better. But anyway, there's obviously going to be a lot of players that are going to be above and beyond future Hall of Famers, awful busts like Jamarcus Russell, Raiders fan. So let's just go right into it. We're going to start off with our guaranteed bust. This is the players that we do not think are going to make it in the NFL at all. I got to start. I'd say number one, Zach Wilson out of BYU quarterback. I do not believe the guy is all that. Out of BYU, I'm not saying anything bad about BYU or their division. Their hardest opponent the entire year was Coastal Carolina, and the game was pretty good. But other than that, it's just BYU doesn't have a tough schedule. They're just not as developed as like other quarterbacks. Like I'd put Mac Jones and Kyle Trask above Zach Wilson. I just don't see the talent. I don't see the arm strength. I don't see what the hype is behind. I just think he's not gonna be good. So Leon, give me yours.
My bust for the draft this year is going to be Trey Lance. I'm just not sold on the guy. Yeah, he had 28 TDs, 0 interceptions in 2019. But look at the competition. Same school Carson Wentz came from, and he struggled, and now he's on another team now, the Colts, and hopefully he can bounce back. But North Dakota State, they're not fooling me. I'll tell you that.
Especially the schedule. The schedule is pretty much like next to nothing. So, Anthony.
My bust is going to be Justin Fields out of Ohio State. I don't see any Ohio State quarterback or Justin Fields producing in the NFL because you look at the schedule then Justin Fields throughout this whole entire year. Justin Fields dealt with injury after injury, and in some of his games he was inconsistent. Yeah, he had a good offensive line, but the offensive line helped him stay, quote unquote, I would say, healthy. He was injured half the season, and he almost didn't even play in the national championship and against Clemson. I don't see Justin Fields being a good quarterback in the NFL. I see him being a bust.
Yeah, I mean it's different because all of our busts were not only quarterbacks, but they are arguably the second, the third, and the fourth best quarterbacks in this year's draft alone. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So let's go right into our guaranteed week one instant starters, our ones that are going to make an impact on and off the field, like the perfect draft. First, you got to agree with the best offensive lineman talent ever seen in the draft. Penei Sewell, top 5 pick for sure. If the Dolphins don't get him, then he's definitely going to go to the Bengals. That man is unstoppable. He is a brick wall. Give him to the Bengals. You can't match that guy. He's going to be an instant anchor to help Burrow, guaranteed, for sure. Leon.
Man, I'm gonna go with Trevor Lawrence. Man, you got Urban Meyer Urban Meyer's back. He's an offensive mind. Oh my gosh, they're gonna put up some points. They might even win the division. I mean, the Titans are the top team, and maybe the Colts, but watch out for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, maybe Houston too. Maybe.
Maybe.
Sorry.
Maybe.
I can't say that without laughing. Anyway, Anthony.
Taking what Leon also said, I'm going to go with Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson because you look at his stats, he was 34-2 throughout all of his career at Clemson. He was the youngest quarterback to win a national championship. And you just look at his stats and the culture that was around at Clemson, he led that team to become one of the best teams in the nation. And I still think that after Trevor Lawrence leaves and goes to the draft and is drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think DJ Lemuel, the quarterback out of Clemson now, he's going to keep that tradition going in Clemson and keep them to say that team is going to be a championship team for the next 4 or 5 years maybe. But I just see Trevor Lawrence being a number 1 day quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting what you say about his backup DJ, who kind of cracked under pressure against Notre Dame in their one loss.
That was his first game of the season.
Yeah, first game of the season, but
You always got to have your butterflies.
fair enough. All right, so the final part of this segment is going to be our sleeper picks, our hidden gems, the players that are not necessarily too well known that we believe are definitely going to be superstars one day, future Hall of Famers, everything. So my first hidden gem, Richie Grant, projected to be an early second round pick, probably the highest rated safety on the board. I have heard almost nothing about safeties this entire draft. Nobody talks about it. Mel Kiper doesn't talk about it. Nobody else talks about it. Richie Grant, UCF at safety. Give me him. Instant starter. I say instant starter, transformed into a future superstar. Leon.
Oh, I'm going to go with the Florida State cornerback, Asante Samuel, projected as a second rounder. And just to give you some facts about him, since 2018, he's second for completions against him, incompletion. So the guy is he's a lockdown corner, man. So sorry for cursing, but he's a lockdown corner. And man, I got him going high, second round. He's a steal.
Oh no, for sure. I mean, I've watched a couple games with him starting at cornerback, and that man is a genius all around. So I'm excited to see what he does. All right, Anthony, round it out.
My hidden gem is going to be Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama. He is 6'6", 312 pounds. The man is most likely comparable to Tristan Wirfs out of Iowa, who plays for the Bucks now. I believe Alex Leatherwood will be a day one starter for any NFL team, and he's projected to go into the early second rounds, late first rounds. He's going to be an instant day one starter, and he's going to make the team, that whole offensive line, great again with any team he's on, and he's going to give any quarterback good protection.
I mean, Leatherwood is definitely a good prospect, especially for somebody that protected Tua very, very well. Didn't allow any sacks during that 2019-2020 season. So, yeah, I'm with you on that. I think he's going to be a very good quality starter for at least a good decade.
Yeah.
Let's translate this into away from a mass. Let's concentrate on one prospect alone. Let's concentrate on probably the weakest positional weakest positional grouping in this year's draft, and that's got to be tight end. I've seen like one prospective tight end, and that's it. And that tight end is
Kyle Pitts.
There you go, Kyle Pitts out of Florida. Probably the only tight end that is actually giving buzz. So, let's start out with this. I'm going to send this one to Anthony. Anthony, where do you think Kyle Pitts is going to land? I mean, you've seen him being taken number 4 overall by the Falcons, and as low as number, I think
11 or 12.
Yeah, I think the lowest I've seen him was 15 to the Patriots because they need help as well. So, where do you think Pitts is going to land?
Honestly, Kyle Pitts can go anywhere, but I honestly see he could end up with the Giants most likely, because looking at the Giants, they're gonna need to get some weapons for Daniel Jones if they're trying to compete. Because you look at them last season in that NFC East division, I don't remember their record off the top of my head, but the Giants didn't really have that many weapons, and you look at the NFC East last year was a terrible division when the winning team won at 7-8-1, sadly. But if they want to compete in that division and say they're a team to make the playoffs, you're gonna have to start looking at weapons for Daniel Jones, and I would start right at tight end and look at Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is one of those other hidden gems in this draft, I think, but he's going to be an instant day one starter for any team, but I could see him going to the New York Giants.
The one thing that I do have, I don't want to say a problem with about the Giants with the tight end, is that they do have Evan Ingram, who was the Pro Bowler for 2020, but then again, he did not deserve it. He had multiple drop passes. So I think Pitts is definitely going to be an upgrade if he does go to the Giants. Leon, where you got?
I got Pitts going to the Colts. I just don't see him going like top 10, top 15, what everybody else sees. But going to the Colts, going in at tight end with all those receivers, he'll be a vital weapon for them.
He would be a vital weapon, especially for the Colts, especially their
now they got Carson Wentz.
Yeah, the tight end position is definitely something that they do need help in. Ever since they lost Ebron, tight end has not necessarily been their strongest position. Oh man, this is actually one question I didn't think of. Where do I see Kyle Pitts going to? Oh wow.
possibly the Lions.
No, not that early. Lions will definitely be picking up a wide. Plus, they have Hawkinson. There's no way
Oh
they're
yeah,
going
yeah,
to
yeah,
double
yeah,
back
yeah.
on tight end.
Lions
Honestly,
at Lions pick at 7, but
no, no, still pick wise. Knowing the Eagles, I'm going to say
yeah.
the Eagles because they always make really weird draft decisions in the first round. They picked Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson, and then in the previous year they picked, holy moly. They made another awful draft pick.
I
I
think the
do not.
DN,
Who?
was it a defensive lineman?
I have no idea. I don't remember the Eagles draft history. I just know whatever first round pick they had in 2018, I don't think produced to their level. But anyway, what you were saying?
No, this just came out. I know it has nothing to do with the draft, but the Jets just signed former Bengals pass rusher. The guy's last name's Lawson.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll go over that more in detail in another
Yeah.
episode. Anyway, I still think Pitt's going to the Eagles because the Eagles are notorious for making weird draft decisions.
Yeah, and the Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, especially with the Zach Ertz contract. Zach Ertz hasn't produced anything very, very
Oh, Jalen
recently.
Hurts.
I know I'm talking about Zach Ertz as well.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, because he's the tight end for the See how I made that connection.
yeah.
Anyway, Ertz just isn't he just doesn't produce as much as what he used to. He's not as good. His contract is too expensive. I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles cut him before the end of the season, let alone during free agency. Give him Kyle Pitts, instant upgrade at tight end. They already have Fulgham. Give him another wide receiver. They'll be probably a divisional contestant. Translate into the last portion of this video, we are going to be talking about who do we think is going to be the first running back off the board. Don't worry about who they're going to go to. Don't worry about when. Just say first running back, when are they going to go, and why you think they're better than the other one. So I think it's going to be Najee Harris because I just don't believe in Travis Etienne. I don't think he's all that. I think just because he went to Clemson honestly makes him better or look better. Harris is a big body build, 6'2" running back that can he reminds me of a minusculely smaller Derrick Henry. He's got
Just saying that because he went to Bama?
No. Not just because he went to Bama. I mean, Derrick Henry is a couple inches taller, a little bit more weight added, but Harris is a pretty much close second to him. So I would say give me Harris is going to go as the first running back. Anthony.
I gotta go with Travis Etienne out of Clemson.
Disgusting.
Travis Etienne's the perfect dream build running back there is. He's got the height, he's got the speed. He does lack a little bit in arm strength, I would say, but I believe Travis Etienne is the running back that goes off the board. It doesn't matter where he goes. I just believe he's going to be the first one off the board, and he's going to help build an offense and make it good, and he's going to produce who knows what. He's going to have a lot of good carries per yard. He's just going to be one of those running backs that has consistent games of good running, good rushing attacks, and he's just going to be a good running back.
Makes sense. Leon, you going to help us break the tie, or you're going to help throw another name in the hat?
Hey, for me, I'm not breaking any tie. I'm going with Javonte Williams.
You're killing me on this one, man.
This guy, he's nice. Rushed for 300-plus yards versus Miami University. He's a back who upped his draft stock this whole season. Watch out for him.
I forgot about the 300-yard rushing game against Miami. I remember that day. That day hurt. Don't worry that I also go to FSU. That's unimportant right now. Yeah, Williams is definitely a good prospect for sure. I could definitely see him going on the Dolphins as the second later round, which I will definitely be talking about later. Anyway, that'll probably wrap up this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment. Was one of us wrong? Was Leon wrong? Was Anthony wrong? Because I know I wasn't wrong.
Let us know.
Let us know in the comments. As always, just let us know if there's anything else that's going on. We'll be posting now more often as regular season as more stuff goes on. So just be on the lookout. Thank you for watching.